Captain Mackay Peak, Cadet Staff Sergeant Zoe Lawson, Cadet Lieutenant Hannah Walsh, and Cadet Sergeant Josh Salvador. Fremont High School and your Kellogg Wildcats. Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life's values. Your friends at Kellogg High School, the statewide Student Advisory Council, and the Idaho High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience. Help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Idaho. And now the starters for North Fremont. The Huskies are coached by Coach Ben Land, Shannon Hill, Blake Bowman, and Jim Jorgensen. And they want to be announced as one team. And now the starters for the Wildcats. Number 2, a junior, Andrew Lewis. Number 3, a senior, Reed Watcott. Number 40, a junior, Tanner Williams. Number 21, a senior, Colton Wood. Number 33, a sophomore, Radley McDonald. Number 41, a junior, Wyatt Story. Number 45, a junior, Coleman Blaylock. Number 51, a junior, Ethan Spencer. Number 60, a junior, Brady Bergobi. Number 62, a junior, Alex Jones. And number 64, a junior, Tom O'Neill. The Wildcats are coached by Dan Davidian, assisted by Tim Kimberly, Eric Wickham, Eric Pankey, and Corey North. Referee tonight will be Jacob Iverson. Umpire will be Mike Gump. Head linesman will be Dan Hislop. Line judge will be Caden Franks. And the back judge is Keith Olson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Josh McDonald, Pete Miller, Simon Miller, and Buck Coe here, bringing you your Kellogg Wildcats taking on the North Fremont Huskies. We are Wildcats Live. It's a beautiful night here in Kellogg. Teeters Field is looking great. And
shout out Mike Lawley.
Oh, Mike Lawley and the whole Aaron Miller, the whole crew,
Shout out those guys.
the school's maintenance crew, the city's maintenance crew. There's a lot of work goes into making this field look as good as it does. There is no better. I will say there's only one venue I think competes with ours, and that's Sandpoint's War Memorial Field. It's pretty hard to beat having a football field right on the banks of Pend Oreille Lake. But we are here tonight for what is a pivotal two-way matchup between the Kellogg Wildcats and the North Fremont Huskies. Last week, the Wildcats opened their season with a painful defeat at the hands of the Moscow Bears. Hats off to Moscow. They came in, handled business, very similar to what the Wildcats had done a year prior. Meanwhile, these North Fremont Huskies went into Montpelier, Idaho, where they knocked off the defending state champions from Bear Lake. This game has a lot of meaning behind it because it's a two-way matchup that's out of conference. These games don't happen for North Idaho teams very often. We don't get games against teams in our same classification that aren't league games very often. So for the Wildcats, this feels like a must-win game. I would be remiss if I said that right now everything's trending in favor of North Fremont. The only thing that's working against them is they had a 6-hour bus ride from Ashton, Idaho. Here, looks like Wildcats won the coin toss and have deferred.
JV Varsity doubleheader, that's always kind of
Always good. JV did come up short in tonight's contest, battling hard against the North Fremont team, but it was a good football game. If it was a precursor to what we're about to see, I anticipate a heck of a football game. Last week, it was us three in the booth last week. We saw a lot of things we liked. We saw a lot of things we didn't like. Pete, what are some of the things you liked?
Oh, definitely how the defensive line got off of the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
They hit the gaps. They blitzed. They twisted, and really, they did put pressure on the quarterback. And I was thinking on the drive over here. By the way, I just got out of my car about 20 minutes ago from a 7-hour drive. But I digress. My apologies. what
Fresh on his mind,
what
Josh.
what
Just got off ice.
So what I was thinking about was how last year Kellogg had the advantage of a quarterback that could throw and move under pressure.
Yeah.
Here we go, kickoff.
Keep going. We'll talk about it. Ball being brought out here by the Huskies. Missed tackle there. They're going to get out to about the 30-yard line before swarmed by a host of Wildcats. So the Huskies are going to take over at their own 31-yard line, and we're going to get our first look at this Husky offense, which under the quarterback, Jed Hill. He's a 6'1 senior. He's a talented football player. He commands this split-back offense that North Fremont has made. They terrorize teams. A lot of misdirections. We're going to see a lot of that here. Inside handoff right out of the gate probably goes for
Nice tackle.
1 or 2.
Nice tackle. Who was on that?
I think on it.
That was Tom O'Neill. And we're going to hear his name a lot again tonight.
We are going
right?
to talk about Tom O'Neill quite a bit on the defensive side of the ball. You know, and you were talking about how great that defense played. Heading into the fourth quarter of that game against Moscow, it was a 14-0 ball game. I have it under good authority that the touchdown that never was has actually been sent down to district officials who said it was a brutal call. Oh, Wildcats right now not finishing tackles, but right there, they're going to finish one drive.
Yeah.
Nice
initial hit by 51 Ethan Spencer, right? But he couldn't.
Didn't finish the play, and forward progress turns that into about a 3-yard gain. So Huskies find themselves in a third and manageable here, about 4 yards. For as good as the defense played, they didn't finish some plays that probably would have changed the game a little bit. But the real story was the struggles of the offense. So Hill under center here. Little drop back, throws over the top, has a guy, Coleman Blaylock on the tackle, and I don't know that the Wildcats were expecting that little quick pass.
I think he came out of the slot, I believe. 21. Yep, just straight up the field. He came up.
So Wildcats' first opportunity to.
I think the tight end came down and he squirted around him, and the defensive back lost him.
Wildcats' first opportunity to put North Fremont into a fourth down situation comes up short. Now very much in Wildcat territory. Jed Hill under center. He's going to go inside. Nope, he fakes the handoff. Option outside, running back with a whole lot of room. Blaylock on the tackle again, and that carry right there, that's Carson Bond for the Huskies.
Again, Pete and Josh, let's go full replay and take a look at this.
There's a whole mess of field for Bond to work with there.
It's just a lead option, and he comes down and options off the end.
No contain, right?
No.
I mean, you get outside like that.
So like last week, how the DBs have got to read that, not get suckered, but they've got to come up.
Yeah.
They've got to come up on but the thing is, you don't want to penetrate a lot on a pitch like that, because then you're wasting your.
That's exactly what they want. They're lulling you into that pitch. So here, inside handoff, quarterback keeper. Hill's going to keep it, and he's going to get in for a touchdown. And it took the Huskies all of 2 minutes and 5 seconds
He's running the option
to drive about 70 yards here, and that split back option offense has given the Wildcats fits on this first drive.
So he read it. He faked to the dive back and just booted right off of him. It was a good read.
Impressive drive.
It was
Yeah.
about what we had.
So the Cats have to come down. You know, they're probably double teaming at the point of attack.
An inside handoff there to Carson Bond again. Carson Bond, pardon me, for the 2-point conversion. I think there might have been a missed false start there. The left guard jumped a little early, but nonetheless, North Fremont goes up by a quick
Pretty impressive.
8-0. And
So Pete, break down what the defense has to. You know, you talk about Notre Dame playing Navy last week. It's a whole different game plan to plan for this triple option or any type of option or that sort of thing. So what type of assignments are you looking to see some adjustments?
Well, here's what's tough. If they're running that dive and they're successful with it, right, then they can run a trap play. So if the linebacker is scraping off the double team block, where the initial attack is. If he's scraping off there, he can get the quarterback, and the defensive tackle has to come down and fill that hole. Okay, so it's tough. It is very.
It's assignment based, isn't it? Like to the max.
These guys, we know that Kellogg responds to coaching on that level, on a responsibility level, right?
Yeah. We definitely know that they watched film, they game planned for this. I inside track, I have one of the players at home, so I can talk to him and find out how practice is going. They prepped for this. One of the key areas I need the Wildcats to produce here this week is in this special team situation. A lot of big plays last week ended up coming back.
Like Josh, starting with don't turn it over.
Yeah, don't turn it over, and don't get unnecessary flags.
Yeah.
Unnecessary penalties.
So true.
McDonald brings that out to about the 30-yard line. So right about the same starting field position as what the Huskies started their first drive with. Now this is going to be the big test. Last week, and I'll say it again, I've said it a few times.
Split out to the right. This is interesting.
Yeah, my guess is we're looking at either some sort of misdirection coming the other way or a very quick screen. Fast screen over to Coleman Blaylock. Blaylock shoelace tackle, and he was kind of just left up there lame. Looks like we're going to have a loss of 2 on the play.
Okay.
Right down by number 22.
Wildcats last week.
Wyatt just has to get that block.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for those receivers out there, one-on-one blocking on sneaky and versatile defensive backs, but you got to get your block.
Yeah. Wildcats staying with their spread, sending the guy in motion here. Walcott takes the snap. Handoff that's Andrew Lewis. He's going to get
quick dive.
He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. Yeah. 4 yards on the carry for Lewis.
I mean, that's just a quick dive. And also you had the guard pulling out. I didn't see that very well, but
if you could string a few of those plays together without getting behind the sticks on first down.
I don't think we saw that play last week. I'm just saying.
I would agree.
I think you're right.
I would agree.
Walcott here rolls out, has a man, fires, tipped up, and
no, he's
out of bounds.
That was good defense.
Okay.
Walcott there rolling out. He's got to get rid of that ball sooner. And I think that's what we're.
But here's the deal, John. He gave himself some time.
He gave himself more time than what we've seen in the past. You're absolutely right.
But you're right.
Ball's just got to come out sooner. Yeah. So the Wildcats start out, 4th and 9 here. Not what we would have liked to see. We would have liked to see an answer here. This is another area of improvement. Wildcats need to see if we can get a clean snap here. McDonald back to punt. Good snap. Punt is low, but it's going to get some distance here.
Okay, we'll get a roll.
Take a couple bounces, and Wildcats flip the field by about 30 yards.
Good snap by O'Neal, right?
Which is baby steps. We're talking improvement here. Right there, that was a clean catch. It might not have been the best snap, but it was a catchable snap. He got the kickoff. We didn't see a fumble. We didn't see a blocked punt. We didn't see them have to scramble for their lives. So all in all, that's an improvement from last week.
Josh, like every kicking game, the center is de-emphasized because he's on the line. You don't think,
right?
But it's so important. Here we go.
So staying with that spread back, Jed Hill under center, inside handoff there to Carson Bond. He's going to pick up 4 or 5 on the carry, and really
Lewis gets some tackles.
It's feeling like a lot of. They're picking up. They're picking up yards after contact by simply diving and extending. So initial contact made probably 1 to 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, but after that, they're just muscling their way forward, diving and extending, and picking up these yards. Hill with 2 receivers out to his right this time. They're going to option out, and this option is dangerous, and that's Bond. He's got room up the sideline and stays on his feet. McDonald comes in and makes the tackle.
Save the tackle right there.
And we are. This option is kicking the Wildcats' butt right now, Pete.
Josh, did you see that? Was that reminiscent of Notre Dame Navy? How many pitches did Navy get last week?
I mean,
they got a lot of yards off of pitches.
And fortunately for us Notre Dame fans, they were not able to turn those into drives. The Irish defense was able to stiffen up at the right moments. But this is where we're at. We need the Wildcats to find a little bit of that stiffening up. We're going to get a timeout here from the Wildcats, and if you're Coach Davidian, you're having to tell guys that right now, I mean, outside of completely changing your scheme and going to some sort of 6-guy front where you have 2 guys on the outside whose only job is to contain, you might have to put a spy on the quarterback and then have your outside guys do nothing but watch those running backs. I mean, I don't see North Fremont settling into some sort of high passing offense. We know the Wildcats can defend it. They got caught sleeping on that first drive, but realistically, this game is going to be won up front if the Wildcats can't stop that pitch.
Well, you remember that when 21 caught that pass when he was in the slot, he was basically hidden. Okay, they're using a different formation on this drive, and now they have 2 split out, and so the defensive backs were busy with the split outs, and the pitch came out clean.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, this is being executed wonderfully.
If you like option football, you like this, but this is tough. They'll get their assignments, but they have to learn very quickly, right, Josh?
Yeah, they're going to have to be fast learners here. Another inside handoff here. Looks like McDonald on the tackle at about the 4 line.
Number 33, Radley McDonald.
So it's going to be, looks like 2nd and goal here from the 4-yard line. And the Wildcat, I mean, they're just the ball is being run down their throat. This isn't particularly pretty offense, but the Wildcats are going to have to figure out a way to stack this box and force North Fremont to throw it. Inside handoff again. Fumble in the end zone. Recovered by the Wildcats. I believe that was McDonald forcing the fumble there. We got that on replay.
Recovered in the end zone by.
That's going to be a turnover. That should be a touchback.
I believe it was a clean.
They're saying the fumble was forced. Here, dives in.
Oh, okay. It was a clean. That was a collision.
Looks
hit
like
right
Tom
there.
O'Neill. Tom O'Neill on the forced fumble there.
Yep.
So that's a huge play. I'm not entirely sure that he hadn't already broke the plane, Pete. But hey, this is Wildcats Live. We'll take it.
I don't think. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think
he broke the plane.
I think he was juggling it going in and then the collision.
Yeah.
That's a great play.
That's a big play for the Wildcats here. That's the first turnover they've forced this season.
Love it. Let's go Cats.
Walcott with 4 receivers. He's going to take the handoff himself.
Okay.
This is just a toughness move here by Walcott. He's going to pick up.
Let's see a replay on that. So, Josh, if you look, the guard and the tackle, cross block, opens up the hole with a lead blocker. Look at
Yep, there it is.
See, we didn't see that last week either.
We did not see that last week. And there's Walcott with a, you know what, I'm tough too. That's an I'm tough too play right there. We didn't see a ton of that last week. It's definitely nice to see it right now. 2 receivers set here for the Wildcats. Lewis goes in motion. Reed's going to hold on to it again. And right there, Rito running for about 8.
That's tough.
That may be the first down that the Wildcats have picked up without the assistance of a flag this season. We're celebrating small victories.
I don't know about that stat, but
I mean, last week I don't think they had a first down that didn't get brought back on penalties.
Oh.
Well. Or either they got it from penalties or it got taken away from penalties.
Okay, let's watch this offensive line. Let's see how they're doing here.
Walcott 3 receivers.
Okay, pass.
Goes out, has a guy, fires one.
Wide open.
Jager Hall.
Nice.
Jager Hall on the grab, and right now this is a humming Wildcat offense. This feels so much better than what we've seen. Right over the middle.
That again?
I think we have it right there.
Let's see where he came. Okay, I think we.
Jager Hall came out of he was on the left side of the field, came up, came cross. Right now, 3 receivers set for the Wildcats. Walcott picks up a block here, rolling out, fires one, has Jagger Hall on the outside. And Wildcats right now moving. Jagger Hall with 2 big grabs there.
Hey, Josh, what are you seeing here? Composure, right?
Yeah.
We didn't see it last week.
We did not.
We saw so many close calls, so many close passes, drop balls, incomplete passes, intercepted passes.
Yeah.
That was nice touch on that ball, turn and run. Love it.
Yeah, love what we're seeing right now from the Wildcats. Walcott in the shotgun, has a man, fires one over the top. Oh, and overthrows McDonald. Oh, just a brutal turn of events. Going to be brought down there. That's
intercepted by
Jack Fields.
Roy
Wynn.
Wynn.
And Walcott just overthrew his man.
He was open. Listen, I just said, composure, accuracy, touch on the ball, and he just
and
lost it.
On first and 10, I don't know that I love the shoot for the moon play there. I mean, it's jarring to hear me say that, but I liked what they were doing, mixing it up with the running.
But you know what? He was open, so that's good. That's a good thing.
Little inside handoff again, and Bond is going to get about 15 on the carry, and I can't help but feel like the Wildcats may have squandered one of their better opportunities.
Straight dive, that's not even an option. He's just handing the ball to him.
He's just taking a handoff there.
You can see right here, you can see a double team.
They're setting one guy back, and I don't know entirely what we call that. Is it the tight end? Is it the slot receiver? Behind the line here, if you watch, they're going to go split backs, and then they set one guy. Yeah, see this guy who's set way back here, this number 1. Inside handoff again, that's Bond, and this Bond just runs like he's mad at the other team. Good hard runs from Bond.
6'2", 185.
Wow. Good-sized kid. 2nd and 1 here for the Huskies. This is a good Huskies team. Last year, they opened the season by knocking off Bear Lake, the eventual state champions. And then this season, once again, they opened the season beating Bear Lake. This is a very talented football team that Coach Ben Lentz has here.
They got an empty backfield here.
And Jed Hill has all sorts of time. Jagger Hall going to bring him down.
Okay.
And
you talk about a spy, but they only need 1 yard, right, Josh?
Yeah, they only need 1 yard.
But Jagger was on him, but he was also deep. He was playing the pass.
Deep, yeah.
Right?
Playing him deep, and on 2nd and 1, you probably need to be crowding the line a little bit more than that. We're just over 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Wildcats still trailing 8-0. Wildcats with a little sign of life there, forcing that turnover in the end zone and then marching downfield before that interception. This time, Hill's got 2 receivers out to his left. Pitch outside. O'Neal misses the tackle there, running the ball. That was Andrew Martin for the Huskies.
Okay. If you watch the double team at the line, the dive, and the quick read and the quick pitch, they are really getting that out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, they're almost not even waiting. I mean, historical on these option offenses that you see, especially at the collegiate level, the quarterbacks will almost wait until that defender commits to coming at him. He's not waiting. He's taking his 2 steps, recognizing that if he gets that ball out to his running back, there's nothing but green in front of him. And right now, Jed Hill has orchestrated 2-3 very good drives. He's going to roll out here, pursued, and finds an open guy. That's 42. That's Cutter Bowman in the end zone.
That's a drag pattern all the way across the back of the end zone. See, so he's cutting in front of the linebackers.
And just
no, that he was actually on the play side.
Okay, so he went in and came back.
Yes, yeah, it was kind of a little Texas pattern, where you cut left and then reverse.
Yep. And great throw by Hill there. Finds his guy, knows that he has a receiver kind of at the front of the end zone, and ends up hitting the guy in the back. Wildcats down 14-0 here. Hill's going to roll out, has a guy wide open. And the Wildcats just look perplexed. I don't know if there's a better way to say it. then this offense has stymied the Wildcat defense. And this isn't just an offense that you can pick up after a film session and tell your practice squad, hey, go run this offense. This is a hard offense to prepare for. Yeah. We've watched it over the years. Here in Kellogg, I think this might be the first group to completely age out of the Dan Lucier wishbone system that Lucier had. So these guys might be completely unfamiliar with this style of play. Wildcats going to have to create something here. Oh, and I apologize. Bone. Okay. We actually have a family up here with the identical spelling of that name, and their last name is Bond. So Carson Bone.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that comment. Appreciate that. You know, that's really funny because my sophomore year, Frank Machuzik was a senior. Mm-hmm. No, we went. No one could pronounce his name.
Masiasek.
No,
we had Frank's grandson, Colton, was on our basketball team last year. Yeah, Colton.
Then you know.
Yeah. Here to kick off. Nice deep kick. McDonald's going to get under it. Fields at about the 20. Has some room. Bounces to the outside. He can pick up a block here. And we're going to get, I think we're about to have this come back. I think we have a block in the back.
That was such a nice run,
and
too.
This is...
Okay, here's the block right here.
We're going to get a block in the back.
No.
Coming from the top side there.
Right there.
I believe we're going to get a block in the back. Which this has been the Wildcats' biggest thorn in their side. Here's the call. Block in the back, Wildcats. This one's coming back. Looks like 10 yards from the end of the run. So.
All right, and that's an aggressive penalty. It's not a wise decision, but
it still gives the Wildcats decent field position. They're starting from the 43.
So 20.
So
they're still 22 yards from where they got the ball.
So a 32-yard return turns into a 33-yard return turns into a 23-yard return, and now the Wildcats have.
Let's see what they have up their sleeve. We've seen a couple new running plays, some blocking.
Yep. Okay. Walcott had no running back. He's going to scramble here, and he's going to pick up about 3, but. Did you see how he turned like he was handing the ball off? There was no one back there to take a handoff. So, Wildcats here, they're moving the ball. The one thing that we can say right now is they're moving the ball better than we saw last week. So the baby steps here, improvement is improvement. Now we just need to find the end zone. Reed, quick snap. He's going to fire one over the middle. That's Coleman Blaylock. Blaylock takes kind of a ping pong hit there. That's 1 and 2. That's Wynn and Hill. So quarterback Jed Hill and Roy Wynn.
He comes just a little flag into the middle of the field and wide open. Yeah. I think they've found some weaknesses here, and also I just want to point this out. The O-line is blocking well.
Yes.
And they're opening up avenues.
Walcott.
For Walcott to come up. See, like that.
Walcott hits Blaylock again. And Walcott right now is managing the line of scrimmage very well. He's dropping back and then stepping up like he's going to take off. The defense is reacting to it, but he's completely behind the line of scrimmage here. And this is just what we needed to see from these Wildcats. This is what we thought we would see from them. Maybe last week was indicative more of a very improved Moscow team. Right now, this North Fremont team, though, is giving the Wildcats all they can handle offensively, and the Wildcats are inching dangerously close to a delay of game penalty here. Rito gets the snap off, steps up, pockets closing around it. And he just absorbed a huge hit.
I would have loved for him to throw that away.
Yeah, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Okay. Your Wildcats trailing North Fremont 16-0. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the second quarter. Thanks for watching Wildcats Live.
Purple and gold through and through.
Shoshone Glass has been serving the home and auto glass and glazing needs of the Silver Valley and North Idaho for more than 50 years. With 3 generations of family expertise and community loyalty, they have a well-earned reputation for hard work and excellence. No matter what your needs, you can rest easy knowing that your project will be handled quickly and professionally. From energy-efficient windows and sliding glass doors to bath enclosures and mirrors and a comprehensive auto glass service as well. Let the experts at Shoshone Glass take care of your home, auto, and business needs by calling 208-783-1159 or going to shoshoneglass.com. Go Wildcats! From plywood to paint, tools to trim, they have it all, or they can order it in just a few days' time. Kellogg Lumber Company is a veteran-owned business that has been supplying the Silver Valley with quality building materials to contractors, builders, and homeowners for 4 generations. Personal service and knowledgeable staff make Kellogg Lumber the right choice for your next project. With 50 years buying experience, let Steve and the knowledgeable crew at Kellogg Lumber use their many well-established vendors to source the materials you need for the right price and delivered on time. Kellogg Lumber, more than just lumber for 4 generations. Hometown proud sponsors of Kellogg Wildcat Athletics and Wildcats Live.
Hey, welcome back. Second quarter of action about to start. Wildcats here in second and long. Reed Walcott. He's going to fire one. Has Jager Hall. Yeah. And the Wildcats have finally scored. Pay dirt. It took them 5 quarters to do it, but they are here. And shout out to, we have a lot of people watching right now, including some North Fremont fans. I think I saw someone's having a baby who's a North Fremont fan. So I don't know the whole situation there, but I hope everything is going smoothly. Congratulations. You know, maybe if all things go well, you can name that baby something cool like Kellogg. I don't know. Just a thought. Just kidding. Good luck, though. Wildcats on the 2-point conversion are going to come up just short. So the score caught by number 11 there for the Wildcats. That's Blake Coburn on the catch there.
He just needed to... You need to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah, a little deeper. That was a good strong catch. Way to go up and get it. Wildcats trailing by 10 here.
I'd love to see that pattern on the outside, how he got open.
Yeah, that was
because the 2 DBs were inside and he came, or were outside and he came inside. I think, I don't know, it kind of looked like a pick or maybe a cross pattern, right?
Yeah,
you see it out of
which we don't want to. We definitely don't want to call it a pick. We'll call it a cross pattern. But what a good first half response from a team that last week was kind of dead in the water. You know, I had a chance. I talked to Reed Walcott, and you know, I've coached Reed in basketball for a few years. So any time that you ever hear any of criticism from us, especially Simon and I, know it comes from a place of love. We spend a lot of time with these kids, not in the football realm, whether it be basketball or golf. Talked to Reed Walcott, and I just asked him, what's the plan? And he said the plan for tonight is to play like we know we can. Last week wasn't our best week, and the competition doesn't get easier. We're excited to play, and we're ready to show how good we actually can be. That is a poised leader who, by all accounts, a little squib kick here, going to be fielded about the 35-yard line. A lot of room to run. Wyatt Story can't finish the tackle. And who is that there on the carry? That's 42 for, that's Cutter Bowman. He's in across midfield. And it's Riley Coletti who finally stops.
Nice tackle, Riley.
Stops the return, but the Wildcats there elect to go with kind of a squib kick. I think maybe hoping to catch the Huskies off guard. That did not work. So now the Wildcat defense, we've learned a lot about them so far today. This option offense is hard to corral, but they are capable of forcing a turnover. Jed Hill under center, 2 split backs, inside handoff, this time to number 34, who's got all sorts of field Wildcats just not finishing
Andrew
plays
Martin
right
carry
now.
brought down by number 45.
34,
Coleman Ledak.
that's Andrew Martin. Andrew Martin going 5'10", 160, runs like he's 240, just absolutely hits his holes hard and just sheds tacklers. So we're now 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the Wildcat 30. They're driving. Inside handoff again. And once again, shoelace tackle by Blaylock. Andrew Martin was untouched. The Wildcats had no idea where that ball was. If we can get a replay there. Watch that replay. Wildcat defense had no clue where the ball was. Looks like we're going to get 1st and 10 here or 1st and goal from the 10. Huskies in the red zone again. Hill under center, handoff. Oh, he keeps it. Gets to about the 2 before he's brought down by Wyatt Story.
Brought down by number 41, Wyatt Story.
So this really is a tale of 2 weeks. Last week it was the defense that kept the Wildcats kind of competitive. This week the offense has shown some sparks, and the defense is now struggling. I think that is more indicative of the style of offense we're seeing from North Fremont. I anticipate
Okay, second goal.
2nd and goal, and Hill's going to just keep that ball. He's going to get in for 6.
Hill on the carry, touchdown, Husky.
So right now, it's starting to feel a lot like the Wildcats when they had that turnover. If they were going to stay competitive in this ball game, it was going to be trading points, I think, because they have not shown that they are they're not going to stop this rushing attack unless they force a turnover. It's a very, very disciplined North Fremont offense. On the 2-point conversion, looks like they're going to hand the ball off this time.
Carson Bone on the carry.
Carson Bone on the carry.
That makes
It's
the score
just a very, very, very good
Huskies
team.
to 6 for the Wildcats.
Wildcats trailing 24-6.
Well, that's what that angle blocking does. And
Yeah.
if you're not used to that, I mean, so if you line up on the guard, what North Fremont does is the guard post blocks him, and then the other guy comes down and cleans up the block, and then he scrapes off and gets the linebacker.
Yeah.
So that's why you see so far, and until there's some adjustments made. I don't know. Maybe we have to go in the gap more. Maybe we have to go with a 4-man front. I don't know.
I mean,
we have the ability to do that.
What we've established is that the current setup that we have, the current formation we're using, just isn't really getting the job done. But that also being said, some of these plays are just dives right down the middle, and they're clean holes. So putting more guys on the line might not affect that if the hole is that clean. You know, it's kind of a vicious cycle. And these Huskies are executing their game plan to near perfection. The only hiccup was that turnover they had in the first quarter. So Huskies to kick off here. It looks like McDonald and Story back to return. Donald had that 33-yard return that got called back for the block in the back there. That was the drive that did turn into a touchdown. So some yardage here. Another high kick. Looks like McDonald's going to get under this one as well. Has a blocker in his way. Jukes gets by a guy, and he's going to get to about the 25, it looks like. But he had his own blocker kind of just getting his own way. You just gotta get out of the way here. Donald looks kind of mad coming off the field. I know that look. I've seen that look before. Oh yeah, he's a salty potato right now, that one. Watcott, 2 stacked receivers to his right, 2 out to his left. Oh, ball batted up. Oh, And I think about 3 guys on the field knew what had happened there. Fortunately, the Wildcats were able to knock that down. And 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats on what could have been a disastrous play. Watt caught 3 receivers out to his left. 1 out to his right. Takes a snap. He's running. Handoff, pitches to Coulter Wood. Wood's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I'm just going to go on record to say I don't know how much success you're honestly going to have running an option play against this North Fremont team. Seems like
they practice against it every day.
It feels like they might be able to sniff that one out pretty quick. I can't be sure, but the Wildcats now in a 3rd and long situation here.
But I like it. They did attack the perimeter, so, but they know there's patterns that are open. Right.
Walcott blitzed there, and he's going to take a sack, and it's a shame because
Blake was wide.
He had Blake Coburn wide open. He had Drayden Taylor wide open. He had guys open if he could have just gotten a pass off there. Not his fault, though. I think there was about 5 Huskies who broke the line there. And now we're going to need the Wildcats to have another solid, another clean snap. Notice how this week they've dropped Reed Walcott back as an additional blocker. They didn't do that last week on their punting. Decent snap. Kick is up. Good kick. Spiral. Going to drop right at the 45-yard line. It looks like it will be North Fremont ball at the 43, 44-yard line. Solid punt there. 45. Oh, generous spot by the officials. We'll take it.
For us, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to complain about that. Wildcats are just going to have to make something happen here. Defense maybe needs to be the spark. Really, this defense could use a lift. A lot of guys in this box right here. This seems like the opportunity. Yep. We're going to see a little play action rollout here. Wide open. And the catch is made. Once again, Cutter Bowman on the grab.
Number 42, Cutter Bowman.
And the Wildcats here are flummoxed. I think there's only so many words we can use for frustrated.
Well, I did see one thing on the line. I think they did shoot the gaps on that because the offensive line reacted to it in that way. They blocked low.
But Bowman was wide open. Someone did not, either they didn't pick him up or they just they didn't have the personnel to guard him. Inside handoff here. And that's Carson Bone again.
Carson Bone on the carry.
This Carson Bone is a stud of a player. It's no surprise with an attack like this that this kind of offense would frustrate. I mean, this was a Wildcat defense that last week played fairly well.
Oh, and they stopped Moscow's run.
They stopped Moscow's rushing attack.
Until that last drive.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped their run.
And so I'm not surprised to see, you look at the names of teams that they've beat. It looks like we're going to get a false start here. I think we're illegal motion. And for the Wildcats, that's got to be a welcome 5-yard penalty here. Hopefully it'll derail a little bit of this momentum right now. It's 2nd and 9. We're just at the 7.5-minute marker here of the first half. Wildcats trailing 24-6. And I mean, it definitely doesn't feel as one-sided as the score may look. But North Fremont's offense has just been surgical. And the Wildcats defense has not answered the bell. But that is the challenge when you're having to deal with an offense like this. And once again, that pitch, and that's Bone. He's going to walk in. for a touchdown.
One of the objectives,
Huskies.
Josh, one of the objectives of the option, especially on the pitch, is get one-on-one. And Bone was one-on-one with the defensive back. And I think that was, I'm not sure, was that Blake Coburn?
I'm not sure who he had there at the very end on the walk-in.
But see, that's the thing. It's you want to get one-on-one, whether it's the quarterback, one-on-one, or the pitch back.
I mean, this is going to take some real adjustment as Jed Hill fakes the pitch but still gets in. He gets stood up kind of at the goal line, but he falls into the end zone.
And makes the score 32-6.
And right now the Wildcats trailing 32-6 on
Simon, how long do you think they've been running this offense? 3 years?
I mean, this is one of those. I mean, so Coach Lenz has been here at North Fremont. If my research is correct, he's been here for 8 years. So unless this is one of those places where like the school has a tradition of this offense, they've been running it for probably at least 8 years under Coach Lenz.
Think so? Well, I'll tell you what. Looking at them, if you watch the dive back, it's called mesh.
Yeah.
You watch the quarterback and the dive back, you don't even, I mean, he walks up into the line, puts the ball in the running back's stomach, and either gives it to him or withdraws. It's almost like the running back has passed him.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. I love the option, and they run this well.
Yeah, no, it's precise, it's clean, it's a system. It definitely feels like a system. This is not just something that he looked at his roster and said, well, we better put this in because...
Well, I did that. I did that in 8-man football. I mean, I said, I got to run the option because I don't have any blockers.
Hey.
And so, I mean, the double team and I would call this a veer offense.
Yeah.
They probably don't call it that anymore.
And
it's
this is going to go out of bounds. So the Wildcats will take over at the 40, I believe, the 40-yard line with the penalty. So excellent starting position. I actually believe they have the ability to either make them re-kick.
All the cheerleaders and mascots down by the stairs for pictures.
So we're seeing here what the call is.
So maybe we could get some comments on the chat line about the history of this. If their fans have any information on it, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea.
I'm not entirely sure when the last time these two schools actually met up for a football game. I can tell you it definitely hasn't been in my time watching or attending Kellogg School District. So I would be intrigued to find out maybe some of the history here. Wildcats send a man in motion. Walcott drops back, fires one in the flats. Run through the tackle there. I believe that was Andrew Lewis on the catch. But it looks like he only got back to the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot. The Wildcats have had a lot of plays that have wound up back at the line. Successful plays.
Yeah. And look at the improvement, though.
Yeah, last week those passes were over each shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a mess.
See, you had that one-on-one opportunity, so that's a learning, something that he has to learn when he gets one-on-one instead of running nice.
And McDonald just doesn't hold on to the pass.
I
tell you,
if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it, Pete.
Reed is real. I mean, he is doing a great job. He's stepping up. He's looking. I mean, he's finding. You got to find your first receiver, right?
Yep.
I mean, but he's stepping up and he's finding his first and second.
I mean, right there, I think that's a design slant. I believe that was supposed to be McDonald's catch. So right there, you know, they don't drop your money. Hits you in the hands, you better make the grab. Rito here, 3rd and 10. He's got 4 receivers spread out, 1 running back, 2 safeties for the Huskies. And it looks like Walcott's going to get sacked. Who was number 61 there? It says A.J. Peak for the Wildcats. just got bull rushed and thrown over. He was the guy, is that 51?
51.
So Ethan Spencer, and Spencer is a returning all-league offensive lineman for the Wildcats. We cannot have him getting bowled over like that. Wildcats now forced to punt, 4th and 16 it looks like. And, a couple of bad things happened there. First, the drop catch. Well, it was the pass that got completed, got back to the line of scrimmage. The drop pass on the slant there by McDonald, and then Rito taking a sack after a missed block. Another decent punt there from McDonald. It's going to land and bounce to about the 40-yard line. It's going to be Blake Coburn on the cover there. And the Wildcats just need to get a stop here. This is where I think we talk about the small victories. The Wildcats need to get a stop on defense. Doesn't need to be a turnover. It just needs to be make them go 4 and out. Make them punt the ball. Do something here to show, because right now, that fumble was only the consequences of a really good poke out. It wasn't because the Wildcat defense did anything particularly good. Handoff here. Oh, there's the pitch. And right here,
nice tackle.
there we go. That was a great tackle there on the outside.
Carson Vaughn, the carry brought down by number 40.
Looks like that was Tanner Williams. Tanner Williams. They're going to give him a pickup of 2 on the carry. Forward progress is a heck of a thing, though. Looks like we're getting some. So, what'd you read there, Pete?
Trying to decipher it.
So, from what I'm reading, it sounds like this group of kids has been running this offense since they were. We're going to get a false start here.
First group to run this offense since starting
in 4th or 5th
grade.
So some of these kids have been running this for 8-9 years, Okay. So for senior Jed Hill, this is another day at the office for him. He's been running this since he was in Pop Warner, Pee Wee, junior tackle, whatever they call it, and it shows.
Josh, don't you think? Well, let me tell you what I know about option football. They run these plays thousands and thousands of times. The quarterbacks make thousands and thousands of reads, and it's
Fremont Huskies.
the decisions come split second. So he's making great decisions. He's pitching the ball out when he needs to. He's reading. He's handing the ball off.
Yeah.
To the dive back.
Yeah.
So when we ran that play, that was 12 and 13, 12 and 13 veer, and so the guard post blocks, the tackle blocks down, scrapes off, and the tight end blocks down on the linebacker. So.
Yeah. And it just looks. It's precise. I'll revisit a term. It's bowling shoe ugly at times, because it's definitely not the most viscerally entertaining football. But I will tell you, I'm coming to appreciate it because look at what they're doing. And I would anticipate here that either on this play or the very next play, we're gonna see another little dump pass, because they're gonna have the Wildcats bite on something.
Well, when you're running like this, what works, Josh? Play action.
Yeah. So a little screen out into the flats. Wildcats just have to finish plays right there, and also not get caught in the mix where they could catch an errant flag. This was an area last week where the Wildcats didn't necessarily finish plays, and then when they did, if they started getting a little mouthy or a little ahead of themselves, they tended to pick up some unsportsmanlike conduct flags. So for right now, this is probably the longest down and distance the Wildcats have had North Fremont in this entire football game.
I believe so.
So right here, though, stacked box, play action, blitz doesn't happen, finds, and just no coverage. brought down there by Tanner Williams, and that's just backbreaking.
It's infuriating because they contain him, they put pressure on him.
He comes from
and
the
that
opposite.
guy comes all the way from he drags all the way across.
There's a great drag route. Who did we have in pursuit back there?
See, that would have been that was an under route, so that would have been a responsibility of a linebacker.
Yep, but they're all stacked inside that box. Who didn't finish the play there or didn't get their hands up in time? Jed Hill now, 2 receivers out to his right, kind of working against the clock here. Keeps it himself, and the Wildcats just don't finish tackles. And this not only is a tough offense to contain and stop, but if you're not going to finish play.
Oh, yeah, and it only gets worse, Josh, because you get tired. The chat is really great tonight, some Husky fans, and we're glad to have you guys here. And we're Wildcats Live, but offensive coordinator for North Fremont taught us got to be able to sell ice to Eskimos. Lots of plays look the same with different results.
Exactly.
And I love that. I mean, I don't love that we're getting kind of gutted with it, but I love that analogy. And I love this coach. So
it looks like we got some really good content here, too.
I don't know if North Fremont and Kellogg have ever met. North Fremont has run the option offense starting with state championship coach Wally Sawachuk. Coordinator Shannon Hill was the QB. Of that state championship team, Jed Hill is the son of Shannon Hill, as is twin brother Jacob. I'm Husky fans.
I love it.
We love that you are chiming in here, and we want to beat you guys, but man, we respect you have a great team here, and you're taking it to us tonight. So keep those factoids coming because we love it.
Yeah.
First and 10 here. Little pitch handoff outside. That's Carson Bone again.
And it is fatigue, Josh. This is when fatigue. This is when they're like, we know what's coming and we can't stop it.
I mean, the hard part is like these guys.
That's just a misdirection.
This is a 6.5 hour bus ride to come up here and just kind of plant your flag.
Hey, you got to give it respect. And these guys just got done taking down the defending state champions too, as well, right?
I mean,
so
admittedly, they did
the Huskies.
They did arrive in a charter bus.
So
good on them. They travel well. Little inside handoff here, misdirection. It looks like
we did get some penetration there. We did. See, that's what needs to happen. You have to get the first thing you have to stop is what?
Oh, did we get a touchdown there?
Got to stop the dive, right?
You got to stop the dive.
Yeah.
It looks like
you got to make sure it's a dive and stop it. There's got to be somebody there.
You have to treat that dive back.
Hit him every time.
Has the ball.
Every time. Yeah. Every single. And that Pete, does that wear on you? Absolutely, right? If they do that every time, you're hitting a guy every single time.
And the thing is, they're just running the inside veer here. They haven't even gone outside to the 16 or 17 veer.
Pitch outside to Bone.
You know what I'm saying? The outside veer over the dive.
Right.
And so the Wildcats now trail 40-6.
Reminiscent, Josh, of Coach Lucier with Chase Jerome.
Yeah, Wolfgang Bayer.
Wolfgang Bayer, Big Luna.
Yeah, Big Luna, Ryan Morgan.
Those guys could. I mean, it was the same thing. I think Coach Lucier told them we're selling ice to Eskimos. This isn't exciting, but it's going to get it done.
Well, I know somebody who's smiling down from heaven right now and looking at the veer.
He probably isn't a Wildcat
Coach
fan.
Morris.
Coach Morris.
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking about the deceased, please. Jeez, Josh. Coach Morris would love this offense.
What a legend. Talk about Coach Morris a little bit, Pete. Give us a memory of Coach Morris.
Well, I know one thing in situations like this, he'd say, the dog ain't treed the possum yet.
I think that's in a yearbook. That's a yearbook quote. The dog ain't treed the possum yet.
I don't know. I feel like the possum's pretty well treated right now.
Hey, that may be up for debate.
Our offense is doing well.
They're doing
well. We're going to get some more scores.
Got some. Jill Berger loves her Wildcats, and that's awesome. But we do love our Wildcats. We want them to be doing a little bit better tonight, but we still love them.
Wildcats here could use something. McDonald on the return, doesn't pick up a block. And
participation ribbon champion, my best man. So glad to have him back.
Suplex,
aren't we,
at
Buck?
the 25-yard line. So Wildcats starting from the 25. Long march with 1:11 left.
Okay.
The Wildcats get the ball back to start the second half.
Get a stop here, right?
Get a score here. Get a score here.
Oh yeah, get a score.
Get a score and then
get the ball back. Gotcha.
Yeah, and try to punch something in. I mean, this is still, like we said, I guess the possum ain't been treed yet.
Maybe he's got another tree
maybe
that he can go over and get down.
He can hang out in a tree. Reed Watcott steps up, has some room to run. He's going to get out of bounds. He got popped there on the sideline.
How do you do? Let's go replay full. Take a look at that tough run there by Reed. Good field vision, right, Pete?
Yep, I tell you, he is
playing a lot tougher this week.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say, hey, this looks like a different team. This looks like a team that learned from that last game. And that's what we were talking about last week, Simon.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Right?
Yep.
They were going to learn a lot.
I mean, Josh even said it too. You got Reed, who's a talented athlete, but he has not had to take a lot of live reps. And Josh gave the highlights of the pre-Striver drive when he came in and did well. But other than that, it's been here and there, and there's nothing like a live rep. Yeah. And I'm a golf coach. And you can hit range balls and you can play with your buddies, but it's not till you get on the course and it's you and that's it. Mm-hmm. Those are live reps. I call them pressure reps.
And realistically, like, we're not gonna bag on anybody, but I can tell you right now that Moscow and North Fremont are definitely not pre-Striver.
No.
These are two
for sure.
Definitely unfamiliar opponents to start with. And just the level of intensity and physicality that these two teams have presented.
Tough opening slate, I would say, Josh. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I mean, it doesn't get much easier. Next week they're on the road up in Newport. So that's another test against a team that's going to be similar-sized athletes.
Yep.
And we saw what Newport's athletes looked like last year on the basketball court. They're not little kids. This is going to be another solid-sized team and the first road test for the Wildcats. So, it almost feels like getting into league play might be a blessing, where in years past that hasn't necessarily been the case. But this is just a gauntlet, and the teams are incredibly talented.
All right, boys.
Slant here, caught. I think that's Coburn on the catch.
Pass to number 45.
Oh, that's Coleman Blaylock. I apologize.
As we go to replay, Josh, Jody Cook just sharing some great stuff in the chat. Side note, the Hill Boys' grandfather is a Wallace native, the late Joe Foster. Joe was the D coordinator of the same state championship team and played for Mike Riley at Wallace.
See, there's some information.
There's some pretty cool stuff here, and this is worth the matchup for these two teams. And thank you, Jody Cook. That's really cool stuff. Roots in Northern Idaho run deep for the Hill Twins, and we love it. And welcome back. I mean, what a great venue. What a great atmosphere we have here. We wish that it was a little more contested, but hey, it's anybody's game in the second half.
Did you see that last play?
Yeah,
Did you see Watcott? That was
little pitch over the top, embrace the contact, knows it's going to happen, hits a guy, turns a play that was probably broken and should have gone for negative yards into a positive.
That's leader. I mean, don't you
love
that,
He's
Simon?
Getting his feet under him, isn't he? He's getting his feet under him.
I mean, when you can use improvisation, use your imagination, use your athleticism. And this is just a week from a really tough game for him.
Yeah. Buck, really did you get that replay? Did you capture that? By the way, Buck captured that while we were jabbering. Buck just went ahead and said, I'm going to capture that replay.
I can tell you, as nice as it is to hear that the Hill Boys have roots here, it would be nice if they didn't act so comfortable here. Like, hey, we get it. You have some roots, but you gotten awfully comfortable here at Teeters Field really quick. But no, they've been playing awesome.
So I know everybody watches the ball, but I'm watching the offensive line here, and I'm watching some
Drayden Taylor makes
contestations between these guys.
Yeah. Someone asked about league play for Kellogg. We're new to the 2A classification, so league, Central Idaho League, Orfino, Grangeville, St. Mary's, Kellogg, Pre-Striver?
Technically, Pre-Striver, I believe, is considered independent. I don't think they technically fall under the purview of the Central Idaho League, but it is Kellogg, St. Mary's, Grangeville, and Orfino.
Okay, yeah.
So last year we went down and played Bear Lake in the first round of the state playoffs.
Yeah.
Played them fairly tough through a half, and then Bear Lake came out and kind of rolled.
Then played Bear Lake in basketball.
Then played Bear Lake in basketball in the state semifinals and lost to them by 5 there. So these teams from the southeast portion of Idaho
so tough.
have been
so tough.
A real pain in the high end for us.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you look at the nearby competition, you know, they have a lot of 4As that they have to play. You have like Century.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's just a lot of 4A schools, but they don't have a ton of competition, 3A and 4A. They're playing up basically all the time.
Guys.
Reed's going to take the snap,
got a
rolls
block
out,
there. Nice block.
has a guy on that's Coleman Blaylock out there by the 50-yard line.
Andrew Lewis, nice block.
Good block from Lewis. They pick up a first down. So with 15 seconds left and a fresh set of downs, we're probably looking at 3 plays here. Wildcats are out of timeouts now. So 3 plays here. It's imperative to not take a sack.
Yeah, you got to roll him. I think you got to roll him out, let him use his athleticism. See, there we go.
Walcott's going to
Now
step
throw
up,
it.
fires one over the top. Has Jager Hall. Oh, my goodness. Jager Hall just right through the arms there on the sideline. Probably couldn't have drawn it up any better.
And Reed executed it.
Reed,
He got underneath the pocket there.
Yeah.
Threw it on the run.
Oh, that would have been,
You know,
I think he would have been out.
I might
Nice.
go right back to that same play.
I mean,
I mean, what's the worst that can happen here?
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
I mean, you got 9 seconds, so you might as well.
You're right on the 50-yard line. Take some shots here.
I don't know what they did on that scoring pass. It was on the opposite side of the field.
Jager was
but
wide open.
I'd like to see it happen out here.
And North Fremont's defensive backs are playing way off the ball right now.
As they should. I mean, that's well coached.
Walcott rolls out, and we're going to get a sack here, and that's going to close out the half.
Okay.
Just a bull rush up
Can
front.
you see that?
Yeah, we're going to see it right here.
An absolute bull rush up front by these
right tackle.
North Fremont players.
Yeah, he just beat the block.
Yeah,
didn't he?
just got him. Just got him.
What was his number, by the way? Because I've been watching.
On the
Well, we
rush?
can go full again. It's the left end, 77?
77. That's Cameron Schuldberg.
Okay.
That's a 6'1", 210-pound sophomore. So, I mean, they've got players of all ages making plays all over
If that kid has Silver Valley roots, I'm going to start to get upset.
Yeah,
Schuldberg.
they have 11 seniors, and listen to this, only 4 juniors. So
Yeah.
they are heavy.
These guys are ready.
sophomore.
Yeah.
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 They're also experienced, though.
Yes.
They have the senior leadership. You know, we graduated a pretty significant chunk, and the bulk of our playmakers. I mean, we sent 2 guys to Division I schools, other guys off to different colleges. We really, I mean, we had a solid team last year. So this group of guys that we have, we're asking a lot from them.
Absolutely.
We didn't throw them into the shallow end of the pool, which is something I think that needs to be clarified. And hats off to North Fremont. Like, you guys are part of that deep end of the pool we're talking about. We wanted a tougher schedule. We wanted the cream of the crop from the 2A. I think we get you guys. We get New Plymouth. Last time I looked, I think both of you guys are ranked inside the top 5. So we're going to play both of you guys during the season here.
So, Josh, before the game, I was curious. After North Fremont beat Bear Lake last week, I got to go look at some of this stuff from last year.
7-3, right? They 7-3 ball club?
Yeah, and so North Fremont beat Bear Lake to start the season, beat Melba, they went on a 5-game win streak, lost to Aberdeen, lost to Firth, who ended up winning the league. And so they had to do a play-in game.
So Firth lost in the state championship to
Bear Lake. So I mean, this is good company
Yeah,
we're keeping here.
Look at the scores.
Yeah,
Simon.
Oh, I know.
Look at 60, 46, 46, 60, 50. So, this offensive
they're used to putting points
is
up.
explosive.
Yeah.
Did you say yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. Last year when I was talking about the veer and talking about running and
There's your bracket.
and Josh is going
Yeah, no, but I mean, Josh, Pete, we
I
talked about this last
I don't
year.
like to watch it.
I know, but we talked about it last year. Josh is too young for the Lou Holtz era. Josh, how old were you in the were you born in the 80s?
I was born in '89.
So Josh was born national year after the
Yeah.
national championship.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm defending Josh here because like you and I grew up. Kevin McDougal, Tony Rice, like the option. I love Lee Becton.
I'm a West Coast offense baby, okay?
You are.
5-3.
You know?
I
need Andrew Luck standing in the pocket. I need Trevor Lawrence.
5-6-2.
But you know, I'm proud so far. It's painful to see the Wildcats give up 40 points in a half. I don't want to see that replicated in the second half. I'm interested to see what, if any, kind of adjustments Coach Davidian can kind of put together here. But I like what I've seen from the Wildcats offensively. Like Pete and I said while you were out taking pictures there, this is not an offense that you can just watch film and then go out and replicate with your scout squad. You know,
Right.
This is hard. This is. I mean, like they said, these guys. So Jed Hill has been running this system since he was in 4th and 5th grade.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
that's gnarly.
That is great.
That's incredible. And hats off to him.
Let's read a couple more comments, and then Josh, you guys want to continue some commentary. If we want to hit some of our sponsors, we can. It's totally optional, but let's do a couple more comments here. Kate Sessions, last week I reffed the Timberlake South Fremont game. Interesting to talk to the coach from Timberlake about some of the competitive advantage to play in the Southeast Idaho. If you wanted, you could play your whole schedule within an hour or two of travel. Lots of great competition. Sometimes North Idaho lacks competition in their size and have a grueling travel schedule. I think that's really good
That's
insight.
what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
is What, because I'm from here, but I haven't lived here.
Yeah.
And also we didn't play 2A. We didn't
Right.
play 3. We played
You're
4.
1A. Well,
Yeah.
what's now 4A, but
Yeah.
was 1A because
Yeah.
it was reversed. But yes, large schools.
Yeah,
Coeur
so-
d'Alene, Post
yeah.
Falls,
So-
Sandpoint.
And you brought up
That was it.
how many Division 2
Yeah.
2As are in the southeast,
Yep.
right?
I mean,
of Idaho.
there's 5.
And that's what
We have 5 2A schools north of
Lewiston? No, not even
north
that.
of where the state flares out.
Yeah.
On the southeast
Yeah.
side. I mean, that's it. We have 5.
5?
And
That's
then
it.
after that, the rest of the I think there's 22 2A teams, 17 below
Yeah.
below
Cade
below
Sessions,
McCall.
great point, Cade.
You know,
Okay.
and shout out Cade for reffing that game because that was, you know, probably one of our better teams. They went down there and smoked South Fremont.
Right.
And Timberlake is probably the cream of the crop right now for North Idaho football, with the exception of, you know, we don't know about Coeur d'Alene yet. We know Post Falls is talented. We know Sandpoint will be in the state playoffs.
Right.
They just, you know, when you open your schedule against Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls,
Sure.
that's pretty brutal. But again, like he said, we can't really travel outside without it being, you know, North Fremont doing the dirty work and driving 6.5 hours, 420 miles to come up here and play football. It is challenging, and I think a year ago, this would have been a much more competitive football game.
Yeah, sure it would have. It would have been a more compelling matchup.
Yeah. So it's a shame that you have to almost go through that. You have to have one of those teams that elevates your program to the standard that other teams are willing to go, okay, we'll give them a shot.
Yeah.
And then to come up and go, oh, we're beating them by 34 points at halftime. Did we miscalculate something here? No. A year from now, if we run this back a year from now, which I hope we do, maybe we go down there. I expect this to be a much more competitive contest.
Yeah, look at the roster.
Yeah,
juniors and seniors, and we got some of those too, but really we're pretty young and inexperienced.
Yeah, we're starting several juniors, several sophomores.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
But you know what? I'm at the end of the year, if I see this North Fremont team playing for a state championship, it's going to be really hard to cheer against them.
Oh, no. I mean, my mind's made up already. Like, what a hard-nosed
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you right now, as long as it's not Bear Lake, I don't care.
Would you say
I'm so tired of losing
against them?
Yeah, it would be really hard
to cheer against
Hard
them.
to cheer against it.
Yeah.
Well, like it'll be easy to cheer for him.
If we see him go into the playoffs, like it's like
unless by some really weird situation we get matched up with him.
So Pete, you've been drawing up. I'm gonna take a quick break here, but you explain to Josh and to I can't get a camera on that yet, but Josh, explain to Josh what you're drawing up there.
Okay. Get him a little board with the little
the
Madden board.
Okay, so see the quarterback steps here, dive back. They call it a veer because he veers off of this block. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to stop is right there. Well, what they're doing is with the center they reach here because we got a guy on the nose, right? It's an odd defense. He reaches there. This guy posts on the defensive tackle. This guy double teams him, and so if this end comes down and gets the running back, right?
Then that's just green space open for that running back who has the ball.
No, well, it opens for the quarterback, so the quarterback can go up and read, and then he can pitch later. Or if the defensive end doesn't take the dive back, they give to the dive back.
Right.
So what's really tough is that backer has to scrape hard. But when he starts doing that, then they're going to start trapping us.
So I guess the next question, because as helpful as that drawing was for our listeners, the way to stop this, it almost feels like you can't necessarily plan to stop it. You almost have to have superior athletes. You have to have guys that can change direction really quick. You have to have guys that are big enough and strong enough to not get bullied up front. Because otherwise, I mean, if you don't have the right guys to defend this, no matter what changes you make, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. Like you have to almost be you have to be stronger up front.
Well,
I mean that's the football 101, but
yeah,
but you could execute this offense with undersized players. And do it successfully.
Yeah, because you have a double team here, and this guy's angle blocking.
Yeah,
that tight end angle blocks down on the linebacker.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So or if the center if you take the nose and put him in the gap there, he can just let that guy go, and the center reach blocks that guy, and they got a double team here, and then that guy can just come down on the backer. And it's really great. We had when we played, we had call blocking. Okay, and so the guard would make first the center called if it was an odd line or an even line, and then the guard would call a block.
Oh,
yeah. And so he would either he would either say I'm reaching down, you reach, or I'm blocking down, you block down. I'm posting, so you block.
Okay.
Or, I mean, it's really fascinating.
And the options can almost be endless if you run it right.
Endless.
Yeah. Well,
and they do. This is, I mean, I'm sorry I'm excited about this, but that's where I was back in high school was this offense.
And it's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with watching something done well. Last week it felt like a lot of what Moscow was doing was stuff that we were almost giving. We didn't execute on offense, and then on defense we didn't finish plays. So it was hard and frustrating to watch. Meanwhile, this is a very good team running a very good offense.
Yeah,
it's easy to enjoy watching it.
Well, I tell you where you have to get back in the game. It's almost at this point where you have to. You can't be patient on this. You have to. They're going to have to start attacking and going in the gaps, and that's. I mean, you can go gaps.
Yeah.
You can bring the ends into the gap here, and then just have the backer flow to the outside automatically. I mean, there's some things, and our coaches are making that.
Hopefully,
our coaches are making the adjustments now.
So, well, we've got about 3 minutes before the second half starts. We're going to take a quick break so you can hear from some of our Wildcats sponsors. We'll be back with the third quarter. Thanks for watching Wildcats Live.
NASCO is a loyal Wildcat activity supporter and Kellogg-based construction management company.
Their primary focus is supporting our U.S. military's Department of Defense through the performance of multi-million-dollar federal construction contracts. NASCO has a long history in the Silver Valley where their home office has been based for more than 23 years. They have enjoyed continued growth and now have multiple satellite offices nationwide. To date, they've worked on over 50 military bases and performed more than 3,500 construction projects in 32 states across the U.S. NASCO is proud of their Silver Valley roots and is actively involved in local community events and activities. You can find them on the web at nascousa.com. Wildcats Live would like to thank NASCO for being the original gold level supporter and proud partner. Thank you, NASCO, and go Wildcats. North America's premier silver mining and refining company and headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Sunshine Mining and Refining is a precious metals production, development, and exploration company primarily focused on silver. Their namesake project, the Sunshine Complex, is 100% owned by SSMRC and is North America's only vertically integrated silver complex. Located in the mining-friendly Coeur d'Alene Mining District in Idaho, the Sunshine Complex is composed of the Sunshine Mine and Sunshine Refinery, located in the heart of the Silver Valley, Kellogg, Idaho. Sunshine Silver Mining and Refining support many local endeavors and are 2021-2022 Wildcats Live Gold level sponsors. Check out their website at sunshinesilvermining.com to learn more. Go Wildcats! Family owned and operated since 1948 and located in Smelterville, Idaho, Nickerson's Towing and Sales have been taking care of the Silver Valley and beyond for over 70 years. Chad and his crew provide 24/7 mobile services, towing and recovery, and also have a full shop facility available. Whether you need a tow, a jump start, a winch out, a tire change, or fuel delivery, Nickerson's can do it all. As Chad says, no matter how poorly you park it, we can help. Nickerson's also provides services such as secure storage, truck and trailer repair, brakes, transmissions, suspensions, and much more. Chad and family are devoted, longtime supporters of local youth athletics and activities, as well as all things Wildcats. Give them a call at 208-784-1238 or find them on Facebook at Nickerson Towing and Sales. Wildcats Live would like to thank Nickerson's Towing and Sales for all they have done and continue to do for the community, including their sponsorship of Wildcats Live. Go Cats!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Third quarter action just about to start. Your Wildcats going to take the opening kick of the second half here. Wildcats trailing 40-6 here against this really, really talented North Fremont team. We've seen a lot of good things from the Wildcats that we didn't see last week. It would be nice to not have to try and overcome a offense as potent as this one. But, offensively, the things that we didn't see last week, we've seen quite a bit of. Maybe finishing a few drives, not turning the ball over. Those are the kind of things we got to clean up here. And then defensively, we've just got to be a little tougher. If you were with us during the half there, Pete kind of went over some of the mechanics of how this offense from North Fremont works. And really what it boils down to is if you're not going to be tough, and that was tricky. I was waiting for some
scared you, didn't it?
Tomfoolery there. I think that would have been the first time I would have actually said something negative about North Fremont is if they opened the second half with an onside kick up 34. McDonald back, kick, receives the ball at the 15-yard line, has a block, gets to the outside right about the 24-yard line. Wildcats just not doing a lot of blocking on these kicks.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, so let's take the discipline of the offense that they run, okay? The same discipline is transferred onto the kicking team.
Yeah.
And you keep your lanes, you keep your contain like they did here. Anyway, fine coaching.
Yeah. Wildcats here. Inside handoff. This is Andrew Lewis rumbling.
Good run.
Rumbling forward for a pickup of about 3-4 on the pickup there. I think it's hard to stomach some of these plays for the if you're one of the Wildcat players when they're just not going for big yardage. You're seeing big yardage plays on a consistent basis. Walcott drops back to pass. Has Jager Hall, and we're going to get a flag here.
Yeah, that's a late flag, but a legitimate flag.
It's a late flag that came from.
He had to think about it.
He was back at the
good call.
Opposite 45-yard line.
He was being helped across the field there.
So we're going to get a first down here for the Wildcats. Pass interference or defensive holding, I guess, is pass interference.
Okay, here's a replay.
Yeah, Jager Hall is just being rode right across the middle of the field.
Yeah, he had his hand around his waist.
So right call there. Wildcats pick up a real nice first down. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Walcott back to pass. And the pass is knocked down here. Just some of the line is, and I don't want to say they're some inconsistent play from our offensive line. Sometimes it feels like they're giving Reed lots of time to make something happen, and other times it just seems like, and it doesn't seem like North Fremont's doing anything.
Well, they did. They had a blitz on that last one. Look at 55. So they are putting.
Little jet sweep here. McDonald gets to the outside, and no blocking out there.
Good contain.
Great, yeah,
North Fremont.
Great defense from North Fremont. Just
but here's the deal: we're trying to stretch them out. We're trying to, we're trying to get to the perimeter. I like that. Where was I? It was.
We're having some trouble with our clock operation right now. So there's not following the official signals here. That's why the officials stopped the play.
I know where I was. So yeah, so in later in the first half, and also here, you've got they have 4 down linemen, right? They have 4 line, front 4, and they're blitzing, and 55 is putting pressure into the backfield. So yeah, a little bit different. Pressure from them. Let's see what they do this time.
3rd and 14 here for the Wildcats. Single
blitz
safety
again.
Back, blitz. Reed's going to step up in the pocket. and throws, looks like, to the coach who getting his flowers from his team. So 4th and 14 now for the Wildcats. And, you know, I don't know at what point do you decide we're going to change up what we're doing. It looks like they are going to punt the ball, taking some shots or something here. But
well, Josh, it's fundamentals.
Yeah, this is.
It's not making a change in what you're trying to do. It's doing better what you're trying to do. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know,
and at this point, like the only thing that is gonna this has got to be teachable.
Yes.
And so, you know, getting more comfortable long snapping and picking up these blocks and the actual act of punting. What a catch there by, I believe that was Roy Wynn. Sliding catch after he called for the fair catch. Solid punt there from McDonald.
About 35 yard punt.
So
a little bit more.
Flips the field for the Wildcats here. And now the Wildcats, who got so close on that, I think it was that last drive from North Fremont on forcing them 4 and out.
Okay, let's see what they do differently up front.
Yeah.
What adjustments they're making on this. So the backers are up, so they're getting more of a gap look, and they get the pitch out.
And it's at this point it's a frustrating thing where if we have that on replay here, if you watch McDonald is the outside linebacker there, he stuffs the guy who initially, so there's contact to make sure that little guy doesn't come out of the slot and turn into a receiver there. But then he bites on the quarterback keeper, and the pitch goes for green space. So it becomes a matter of like, do you put a guy outside, and if the quarterback has the option to throw the ball, you know, where are you going to give up? Where are you going to bleed the least? It's like right there, trying to see the number there. Tackle made by McDonald, and that was
Jager and McDonald.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, they played that correctly. He came down and they got the dive back. They just got to get there quicker.
Yeah. And once again, we have Andrew Martin on the carry, and this kid, I mean, Andrew Martin and Carson Bone have just run the ball wherever they wanted to. Inside handoff to Bone right there, and
okay, well they're
a little fighting over the possession of the ball.
They are doing what they need to do, Josh. They've got to stop the dive. You got to stop the dive first. The kid's 185, you know, and I mean, he's
Bone's going to get the first down, but there was a Wildcat came out of that pile with the ball. They were saying that the ball had come loose, but the sticks have moved, and it's still North Fremont ball here.
Okay, so we've got more people in the box.
Yeah. We're going to get a false start here, I believe. Oh, we're going to get, nope, looks like a neutral zone infraction. See if we had some guy lined up ahead of the line, the scrimmage there.
Okay, they only have one split out, so that's why we have so many guys up in the box, but we need to do that. And I think what we're doing is going more into the gaps, and that's one way to defeat the double team block.
Yeah. Oh, fumble.
Fumble, we got it.
And I believe the Wildcats fell on top of that. Nope, looks like Jed Hill.
Yeah, Jed got it.
Jed Hill.
That was
good wherewithal
close
by the senior. And those are the mistakes, again, that, you know, last week we talked about Wildcats needing to do a little capitalization on some of these errors here. Opportunities that don't always come around. They were on it just a second late. So 2nd and 7 here for the Huskies.
Okay, that was a miscue on the
inside handoff. That's Bone. Bone met at the line of scrimmage this time.
That was interesting.
Wildcat, I believe the number, I want to say the number was 10 there.
First long, the carry brought down to number 40, Tanner Williams.
It's like Tanner Williams on the tackle there. A pickup of about 4.
That was
So-
that was an interesting play because they faked to the dive back, and then Bone came right off of that
And what the
exchange, and he gave him the ball. That's interesting.
Wildcats electing to go a little smaller up front. Some of their bigger.
Well, we got to get in the gaps. That's why.
Looks like another low snap here. Bone's going to take the handoff. Nice hit on the ball there. Looked like, is that Wyatt Story?
Yep.
Wyatt Story put his helmet right on the ball. Just a good way to hang on to the ball there by Bone. And it becomes another discussion of the Wildcats not being able to, like their defense just not being able to get off the field after playing particularly well for this series. I think has been one of their better defensive series, Pete. Little outside handoff here. We're going to get a hold. This one's coming back. Looked like...
was that a pitch?
No.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the interior.
Watch McDonald gets penetration on the outside, goes to grab, and just gets pulled away from making the tackle. Easy call. Probably 2 yards deep from the line of scrimmage. So this one is actually going to turn into, I believe, probably a 10-yard loss, but it could end up being somewhere in the realm of 1st and 20, 1st and 21, maybe. Unless they're going to call that penalty ahead of the line of scrimmage. So second and 20 from the 39.
You know, I like that he kept his contain, but he didn't even need to get mixed up with that blocker because you saw where the pitch went. The pitch went out.
outside.
He's got to keep contained
Yeah.
all day. In other words, contain is by position.
Yeah.
It isn't by wanting to be there.
And sometimes staying back and forcing the blocker to engage creates a opportunity, just like what we saw there, for someone else to come in and make a play.
Yeah.
Absolutely right there. They pick up about 7 of that 20, so 3rd and 13 for the Huskies. And the Wildcats desperately need to keep the Huskies in a 4th and long situation here. This is where we've seen North Fremont execute that little play action. Inside handoff there. Fumble! Ball is out, recovered by Coulter Wood.
I think he was down.
Call it down.
Yeah,
So they're gonna say he gained a yard. It's gonna be 4th and 11 here.
Yeah, that was a little counter play. Came from the opposite side, faked the dive, counter. But we played that well.
Should be 4th down. Right now this chain still says three over. It says 3rd, but it should be 4th down.
So North Fremont is running a tighter formation.
Yeah, we're having some errors here.
Huskies.
I'm not entirely sure why it's still saying 3rd and 10. Waiting to hear from the officials. I believe it's 4th down. But
I think they're counting.
they might be counting snaps.
They're all
right
counting
now.
their fingers.
So, because it was 3rd. We had talked about it being 3rd and 13 and the Wildcats needing to get off the field there. Pick up a 3, and he fumbled the ball but recovered it. So I believe it's 4th down.
Okay.
Waiting for the official decision here. It looks like it stays 3rd down. Third and 10 here. They keep it in pursuit. Fires over his body. Caught. That's Cutter Bowman. And I don't believe that North Fremont has an incomplete pass today. I think they've only thrown about 6 passes, but they've all been caught, and they've all been huge plays. And that might be the ultimate demoralizer there if you're this Wildcat defense. just not able to quite get there on the penetration to the quarterback, not having anybody in coverage. You know, when you see that guy break out like that, you got to pick him up, right? You can't just let him get into space.
Well, the focus is so much.
And we're gonna get a sack here. No, maybe. Oh boy. And we're gonna get some engagement in the pile there.
Carry brought down by a host of Wildcats.
It's like a little bit of everybody in on that play. And the Wildcats are gonna force. They're gonna lose only a yard. Good on Hill to not let that be disastrous. They're probably not going to deviate from their rushing attack, I would say. Handoff, Bone.
Okay,
Bone
good.
brought down this time by
Nice job by Tom O'Neill.
Number 64, Tom O'Neill.
Tom O'Neill on the tackle there.
Good pursuit.
And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 11, it looks like. So, once again, the Wildcats have North Fremont in a tough spot. And, you know, one of the things, here's something to consider. The Wildcats have kept North Fremont out of the end zone this third quarter.
That's right, brother. They've made some adjustments.
And Bone, I can't even see where the play is here.
I had no idea where the ball was. Seriously.
I saw 2 blockers take a Wildcat completely out of the back of the end zone.
Andrew Martin on the carry.
Josh, that's that double team. I mean, it's just.
4th down.
So it's now 4th and 1, it looks like. And if I'm the Wildcats, I'm doing my darndest to not get caught in a hard count here. 4th and 2 maybe. This is a big play here for the Wildcat defense. And and it looks like Hill's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown, and I think I spoke too soon.
Hill on the carry, touchdown,
I had talked about how they
Huskies.
had kept him out of the end zone the whole quarter, and I didn't knock on wood. It's 46-6, just under a minute left here in the third quarter. And what was a pretty competitive third quarter, what has been a pretty competitive third quarter. See if Wildcats can stop the conversion here. These misdirection plays and fakes, and Hill is able to basically walk into the end zone untouched. And right there, that's Roy Wynn on the round. Where did he come from there? We get that on replay, I'm not sure. Didn't get it on replay. Wynn's the player lining up in that kind of slot tight end spot.
Right.
And after the 2 split backs take their fakes and then the other guy picks up a block, he's just coming around, taking a little handoff and you know, again, traipsing into the end zone. Wildcats going to have under a minute here to find the end zone before the end of this third quarter. And it's hard to, you know, you look at the scoreboard and that's a demoralizing score. But this third quarter was a much better quarter defensively for these Wildcats. And then offensively, they did some good things. Just didn't, every time they took a step forward, they took a couple steps back, it felt like. Whether it be dropped passes or, picking up a sack, things of that nature. But that was a long drive. Wildcats had gotten out to near the 50-yard line and then had to punt. And then I feel like North Fremont just drove for the last 6-7 minutes, which, again, is indicative of a rush attack offense like this one.
Well, I do like the adjustments that the Wildcats have made.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
it's like another out of bounds. And those plays are just kind of debilitating because they almost, it goes out of bounds. You get good field position, but you're not able to try and create anything. You're not able to get anything going. It's it just kind of keeps everything dead, which right now for North Fremont, they're probably more than happy to see as little life as possible from the Wildcats. Although maybe they'd like to see things get made interesting. Maybe they'd like a little challenge for the next.
They wanted to get the game over with and get on the bus.
Get on the bus and get home.
Yeah.
We got this little 4-receiver out to the right set.
Last time they
Fired
threw a screen. This time
Blaylock's in motion.
He's in motion.
And I think we're going to get an illegal motion here. I'm not sure who the illegal motion was on. I don't think.
It was a jump.
Oh my!
In the quad. Yeah. I don't know who jumped. But.
I think we can figure it out. Looks like AJ Peak just ran off the field.
Is that Jager that was?
Yeah, it was Coleman Blaylock in motion.
And
Blaylock takes the screen pass once again. Decent blocking up front. He is going to, looks like he might get near the original line of scrimmage at the 45. Nope, it's going to be 44. So a pickup of 4 on the catch. 2nd and 11 now. And the Wildcats here. 30 seconds left here in this third quarter. 2nd and 12. 2nd and a long 12 here. Stacked receivers to both sides for Reed Watcott. Watcott drops
by
back.
55 picked up.
Oh, and over the middle, caught by Blaylock right at the sticks.
I think he's a little bit short. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd. Oh, wow. Nice spot.
They're going to give him the first. So short walk for the official.
Did you see Andrew Lewis pick up 55 blitzing in there? That was a nice pickup.
Good block pickup right
that.
there. And what I would like to see, them go back to some of those inside handoffs with Lewis. Let him, grind for 2-3 yards, play action, something, But we saw every time that they've started a drive with mixing the run in, that's where they've had their success. It's when they settle into these 3 and outs where it's pass, and as much as that's the style of football I'd rather kind of watch, unfortunately we're in a spot where we're not running pass with Ripley and Colby anymore. So the Wildcats are going to have to adjust. And at least it feels right now like they have a little momentum on their side. Again, that was an 8-0 quarter for North Fremont. So the Wildcat defense was a little stouter in that third quarter.
Absolutely.
There's stuff to.
I'd like to see that a couple of those running plays that they ran. Remember in the first quarter that we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
But they are down and they've got to make.
Oof. And Reed Watcott kind of falling in love, I feel like, with those almost looking like he's going to scramble and then those short little dump offs. But right there, he kind of led his receiver right into a pop. You can only go to the well so many times on those kinds of plays, and you don't want your receivers taking hits like that right at the hip. Inside handoff to Lewis there. I think he slipped, which made
let's see that, Buck.
That looked a lot worse, I think, than it actually was. Lewis, I think, went to either stop or change direction, started to slip, and just kind of got hit. But it's a manageable 3rd and 5 here. And now the Wildcats are kind of in a position where if they don't pick up the first, they're probably in 4-down territory. What's the worst that can happen? Rito drops back, rolling out to his left, floats one up over the top, and I think we're going to get it. Oh, they're going to say he was out of bounds. I'm not entirely sure. I know. I think it's only 1 foot in high school, right?
Well, the replay will show.
I think it's
Thanks, Buck.
You only have to have 1 foot down in high school football. So I think
Nope.
that's close.
I think he was on the line, but
Yeah, we'll take the ball. Never gonna hate on an extra possession here. Wildcats having some personnel problems right now. The clock is running as per the fourth quarter running clock rules. So this game will not, no matter what the score happens or what. Oh, Wildcats got him. So Reed Walcott, KG veteran move, hard counts the Wildcats to a first down. So 1st and 10, new set of chains. And we'll see if the Wildcats can find the end zone again. You know, I see a lot of that I don't love is, this hand signal offense where they get their plays from their offensive coordinator here on the sideline. I see more guys kind of holding their hands up like they don't quite know the call. Ooh, Reed Walcott.
That was developing into a good play, but number 68.
Brigham Bell.
Number 68.
Number 68 came off of the block.
68, Brigham Bell, 5'10", 275, just chased down our quarterback.
Well, he was pursuing through the line. He didn't really chase him down in the open field.
I mean, still a big guy to go catch our quarterback. Oh, Coleman Blaylock didn't finish his route. Stopped there, had to. Oh, no. If he had just ran that out.
Yeah, I think he floated that. So are you saying he was going to the outside?
I don't know if we got that on replay, but I know that, check this out. Watch Coleman Blaylock here, number 45. Just kind of stops.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He doesn't finish running his route.
I know, but he kind of Walcott kind of floated that ball too a little bit. It's all right. He's been pretty accurate tonight. 3rd down.
There we go. Story on the grab. Right about the first down marker. So it looks like the sticks are going to move. Wildcats really flirting with the first down line on all these passes.
Well, what did we say last week? We said that they're going to have a little bit different mentality in the patterns that they ran.
Yeah.
Right? And they were running good patterns last week. The ball was off a little bit.
And not the realization that not every play is going to be a home run anymore.
Yes,
which
exactly.
might be something that a lot of these guys need to learn. Walcott goes deep, has Jager Hall, and he's going to grab one. And it was like I spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
Not every play is going to be a home run. Meanwhile, let's have a home run.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was a great throw right there.
Beautiful.
And Jager Hall with his second touchdown grab of the night for the Wildcats. Clock still ticking because the running clock rule. So Wildcats going to have an opportunity here. Go for 2.
Okay. So what do you run here, Josh?
I don't know. Inside handoff to Andrew Lewis.
Well.
Reed's going to scramble. Oh.
Okay, it was good design.
Poor execution.
I think he just, I don't know if he got his arm hit on that or not.
Wildcats here trailing by 36. Clock ticking below 7 minutes now.
Hey, Buck, how do you get the comments up here? You are the man.
Yes. Rick Luna and the Lunas are in Miami, I believe.
Hurricane territory,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively.
Yes. Because the Miami Hurricanes open their season up tomorrow with Miami of Ohio.
The other Miami.
And the other Miami. Despite comments from Miami of Ohio's quarterback earlier this week, where he kind of said that everybody knows where the real Miami is, indicating Miami of Ohio. Brazen statement, but I have a feeling those words might come back to haunt him against the U. I can't be sure. Nice kick there. I believe that's Riley Coletti on the kick. Wildcats on coverage here. And out to about the 34-yard line.
I like that.
Wildcats here, 5:18 left in the fourth quarter. Wildcats trailing by 36.
Okay, so they got to get the ball back. Now, remember, last drive, there was an errant mesh between the quarterback and the back. So that's what we need to happen. We need to come down, hit the dive, make the quarterback take the ball out, and then come down and, So it's just all about responsibilities and assignments, and we'll see if they continue to shoot the gaps with the smaller, more quicker players, and making the North Fremont offensive line make adjustments on their blocking.
One thing I noticed, you probably said it too, Pete. I've been running around. Look how tight their splits are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
False
like
start. We're gonna get
dive, mesh point, stop that first, and then try to stop what we have off the bat.
Simon, that is a great point because we had wide splits, and I think they started the game with wide splits, and so you have to make adjustments when the defensive line starts, which our coaches made of shooting those gaps, and so then you have to cheat down a little bit more, and it constrains you a little bit more, and I think that's probably what they know that they have to stop the dive back.
Coach Davidian waving the white flag a little bit. He's brought in a lot of the JV players.
This is okay. I mean, get some guys some reps. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, finish out the reps.
Live bullets. Go out there and dodge some bullets. Live action. Wanted to say, Josh. I wanted to say officially,
Randy Rodriguez on that tackle.
Rick Luna. Thank you, Rick. And Rick. By the way, 38. They already won, Josh. But Rick, by the way, Uncle Pete and Josh and I, we're rooting for those Canes. In a way, but
there's one game that
you can't get away from Catholics versus convicts. And
wait, they played on a Friday?
We're not calling your kids convicts, but
I actually rooted a little bit for the and I when Coach Rick went down there, I was. I liked him. I liked him at
and
Georgia.
Coach Cristobal there now, from Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're rooting for you guys, Lunas.
Yeah.
Well, Miami, we're not hating on you as much as we did in the 80s before Josh was born.
Hey-o.
Like when Lou Holt said, "Save Jimmy Johnson's beep for me." I mean, those were some highly contested.
Oh, man.
Do either of you have one of the Catholics versus Convicts T-shirts?
Because
I feel
Pete
like
might.
I do not.
Like if anyone was going to have one, it would be one of you two.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But
little inside handoff here. Wildcat. This JV group of Wildcats, they're hanging tough. They're finishing tackles, which is a step in the right direction here.
So hey, Josh, we got Raymond Renoff. Best high school production value I've ever seen. Thank you, Wildcats.
Hey, that's good to hear.
I mean,
I'd like to point out that Roy Wynn is quarterbacking.
So we got our new QB.
Yeah. Okay, this is good. This is good for him.
He's a junior, so it's probably his show to run next year. He actually. Wildcats going to get a fourth down stop here. So with a minute 43, there is an opportunity for the Wildcats to do something.
You know what? Cats still fighting, scratching. I like it.
I appreciate the shout out for the high school production and it being good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I know our competition is NFHS, so that's a pretty low hurdle to have to clear. And I hope someone from NFHS is watching this and hears that. Because
come get us.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to be done here in a minute, and I did want to say this. So I had several hours traveling 400 miles. Here's a play. Just a minute.
Oh, Rito. Go.
Rito going deep.
Oh, and we're going to get a flag.
No flag. Okay.
Intriguing.
Okay, Pete, keep going.
And so I was thinking about these inspirational things to say,
Yeah.
And I know the best stuff is impromptu and, when the spirit is leading you on what to say. But I did want to say that that's if I had a characteristic that I would want to bestow upon the Wildcats.
In part,
not just as football players, but as men, and is that don't quit.
Oh yeah,
and never quit.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
And the toughness that you need to have to accomplish.
Yeah, you
that.
got to persevere and just got to grind through it.
So
that's great.
We look at the scoreboard, we look at the players, we look at the wins and losses, right, Josh? But really, what we're talking about here is developing men.
Yeah.
And also women. There's women that are in athletics, and it's developing people to become adults. And we need these young fellas on the field to grow into our future leaders of America.
For sure.
That's what this is all about.
That's good. I mean, that comes from a player from the 70s, right? Oh, God, we're airing it out again. Oh, he got out of bounds.
He was forced out of bounds. So
there we go. We got a flag.
Yeah,
we're good. Like, we're shocked when we get flags.
He rode him all the way out of bounds there.
We're like, oh, wait, a flag for us?
So, I mean, the clock still continues to run. The Wildcats need to
I think Buck's capturing the replay.
Get on the ball. And it looks like Kellogg's going to take a timeout here to preserve the clock so that they can try to make this score a little more respectable. At this juncture, it is I believe the threshold is like 20 points or whatever. I believe that the Max Preps rankings don't track.
Oh, shoot. Oh, gosh, Josh, we're back to Max Preps.
Don't track anything over a 20-point win.
Oh, my gosh.
So a 40-point win is the exact same as a 20-point win by Max Preps rankings.
So, yeah. Irrelevant.
So irrelevant here, but I think just reps as Reed Walcott fires one out to the sideline. But, the sideline isn't helping when you're in running clock.
No, the clock is running, guys, unless you call a timeout. You got to get it going. But Josh and Pete, let's one more time. Thank you, North Fremont, for coming up here.
Yeah.
Great team, great program. I mean,
that 55 is.
Yeah, I mean, like you
he
guys,
blitzed the whole second half.
You guys are going to go deep, and we appreciate you coming up here, and hopefully we can come back your ways. But anyway,
thank you.
Shout out to the Husky fans.
Thank you for the comments and the history. I love that.
Absolutely,
I love that.
So much respect for you guys. Yeah, so much.
So Wildcats going to take a timeout here. Looks like, what are we in? 3rd and about 5. Wildcats are in a spot where they just took their last timeout, so they're either going to have to be on the ball or this has to be a shot into the end zone for this to not, be the final play of the game. I think we understood that this defense was going to. I mean, this has been an 8-6 half here.
Right.
So, hats off to the Wildcats in the second half. They figured a few things out that they just really didn't. They didn't have in the first half. I think it's important for them to build off of this and grow from this. Walcott drops back, fires one, has a guy, and it looks like Wildcats just hit each other. Looks like Drayden Taylor is holding. We got guys holding there, and
it's like friendly fire.
Yeah, it looks like Coleman Blaylock and Drayden Taylor colliding.
That's not a good one to end on. I'm sorry.
No. That stings a little bit. So that'll do it, though. The clock should be wound.
Hey, let me share something that I noticed on the offensive line. Feet. I've been watching their feet. These guys, their footwork is a lot better from last week.
Good.
They're better. Good. They protected Walcott more efficiently this week.
Yeah.
Opened up avenues for him. And
looks like Wildcats going to
positives, Pete.
Yeah.
We have a segment, Josh. Pete's positives.
So sack to end the night. Wildcats lose the second one of the season, 48-12. North Fremont, good on you.
What an opponent! These guys have a big. I anticipate a deep playoff run for these guys.
Big season ahead of them.
Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you talking to us.
Yes.
We love talking to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I know for all of our fans here watching, Jill, thank you for being
for sure.
being the consistent there.
And participation ribbon champion.
Yes,
I mean,
participation ribbon champion.
Always. Thank you, buddy. That's my best man at my wedding. Participation ribbon champion.
What about the baby? Did the baby?
I don't know
I
if the
don't
baby
know.
happened. If the baby hasn't
Oh,
happened.
that's right. We don't know if the baby happened.
If the baby didn't
Maybe
happen.
it did. That's why we
good
don't have
luck.
anything in the chat. That's a good thing. Like,
I told you, you can always name your baby Kellogg. We will not have a problem with that. We will not be back here at Teeters Field until September 22nd
Wow.
when we host the Orofino Maniacs in what I believe is our homecoming game.
yeah.
Yes.
So we have 2 more home games. We have Orofino, and then we our season finale, I believe, we host Priest River. We've got the alma mater playing, so we're going to take you down to the field.
Yeah, we do. Let's go ahead and just head down there. It's mic 4. We're on.
Hopefully you guys can hear that down there.
Hopefully they can hear that. I mean, we can hear it, so.
Wildcats not participating like they're supposed to.
Well, I mean,
they got to take some lessons from the Kellogg boys basketball program, who participates in the alma mater win, lose, or draw.
absolutely. And look at the North Fremont players. They're participating in their tradition.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Midfield
That's
prayer
pretty
there
impressive.
for the
Nice job, Buck.
for the Huskies.
That's pretty cool. We respect that 100%. Love it.
We are now going to we have some volleyball coming up here in the near future, so be on the lookout
Yeah.
for some Kellogg High School volleyball.
We haven't done any yet, have
No,
we?
we haven't done any volleyball yet.
No
Our
home volleyball yet.
Our volleyball team has kind of come out of the gates running. They knocked off Bonners Ferry in 3 sets earlier this week.
Love
so
to see that.
Love to see it. But yeah, for Simon Miller, Pete Miller, Buck Co., I'm Josh McDonald. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We loved having you. Thanks for watching Wildcats Live.
Support our sponsors.